नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रीगणेशशारदागुरुभ्यो नमः। तेजो वृषोद्युतिधरः तेजो वृषः, that is the meaning of that is the first name. So there are two words, tejaha and vrishaha. Tejas means fire. What is the meaning of tejas? And fire is the source of water. Where does water come from? Water comes from fire. That is the Vedic vision. How so? If you take a tank of hydrogen, another tank of oxygen, and you spray it, what do you get? Smoke. And what comes out of the smoke? Water. So where does this water come from? It came from gases, right? That's what they say. Agne rapaha. And sometimes you call the cause also with the name of the effect. That we do. We say that Ayurvai Ghritam. Ghritam means ghee, clarified butter. The clarified butter is called what? Longevity, long lifespan. Ayuhu. Why? Because it produces that. If you eat ghee every day, the doctors will live long. So, the cause of longevity is butter, and that is called Ghritam. Ghritam is the name of the substance, but they are calling longevity as Ghritam. Similarly, water is caused by what? Fire. The fire itself is called water. Do you get it? So Tejaha means what now? Water. Tejaha means fire. Tejaha also means water. Why is so? Because Yaska has written a book called Nirukta. Nirukta means dictionary. In there, he has got several chapters. You know, there are two kinds of books. One is called dictionary, where we have the meanings of words. A, the first letter of English alphabet. That's how it starts. In Sanskrit, they by heart the entire thing. In English, they don't. When you have doubt, you look at it. In Sanskrit, we by heart. Amara, Nirjara, Deva. Entire dictionary is by heart. It only takes 3 months. And then there is something called thesaurus. Thesaurus means kosha. Thesaurus, what do? You put all the words not alphabetically, but categorically. You take a category. So first you say water. The entire thing connected to water will be there. So Yaska reads the word Tejas in the water adhyaya, in the Jalanrupan adhyaya. While talking about Jalam, he talks about, hence it is okay for Shankara to consider Tejas as water. That is why he says, Tejasam, Ambhasam, Varshanam. Tejo Vrishaha means one who rains Tejaha. Doesn't mean he rains fire. He rains water. If you are not in Madras, there he is literally pouring fire. So Tejaha Vrishaha means one who rains Tejaha, water. How can Tejaha be water means? Karya is taken as Karana. So Aditya Rupena. See, everything in this world is Vishnu's Vibhuti. Adityanam Aham Vishnu. Sun is also Vishnu. So the Surya Mandala, the sun or solar orb, that is also Vishnu. And this is the job of Surya. What does Surya do? He takes bad water from us and gives back pure water. The bad water, it evaporates by the heat of sun. Then it comes back as pure water, as rain. That is what he says. Aditya Rupena, in the form of sun, Tejaha, Apaha, Jalam, Varshati. Hence he is called as Tejo Vrishaha. Tejo Vrishaha means Jalavarshi. What is the meaning of Tejo Vrishaha? Jalavarshi. He also says in the Gita, Tapamyaham aham varsham nigrinam yutsrujami cha. Aham varsham nigrinami utsrujami. Nigrina means grinahami. I take the water, salt water from the entire ocean, and utsrujami, and I give back sweet water. He says that in the Gita. So Krishna says, hence Krishna is called, Vishnu is called Tejo Vrishaha, because he takes the water and gives back. As Aditya. This is the process of Aditya. He is called Aditya because Adate. Adate means he grabs. That is why he is called Aditya. Aditya means one who grabs. Adate. How does he grab? How do you drink Pepsi? You put a straw in the cup and then you suck it in. Similarly, Aditya has got a huge straw. It is Rashmihi. What is Rashmi? The sun ray. The sun ray is like a straw. If you go and dissect the sun ray, you can see a hole. Just kidding. So this sun ray, it goes and falls into the ocean. And then what he does? He takes that water. He doesn't take the salt, just the water. So that is why he is called Aditya. Aditya Rashmi Bihi Jalam. He takes the entire water from the world through his Rashmi. In other words, the Rashmi scorches the water and takes it. Kshidis samstham jalam ravihi samutsrajati bhutanam. Why does he do? Pushtyartham samurdhaye. That is how the pushti is created in this world. How do we get pushti? What is pushti? High fat. What is pushti? High fat. So everybody is pushta because they eat food. Parjanyadanna sambhavaha. He says that in the Gita. The entire annam for this world is created by Parjanyam. What is Parjanyam? Rain. How is the rain created? Rain is created by this process of Surya taking water from the Rashmi and then Jananam Pushtyartham. He is the nourisher of the entire world. Who nourishes the world? Aditya. That is why the sun is called Trimurti. Sun is called Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Why sun is called the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara? Because sun creates. The sun creates the world. Without sun, creation is not possible. The entire world is alive because of solar energy. So he is a creator. Then he also sustains. And then finally he destroys. Destroys means he resolves. We don't have destruction in Hinduism. We only have resolution. Hence, why does he do this? Pushtyartham. Surya Narayana has this job of maintaining this world. And you can maintain only by giving pushti. If you give low fat, then there is no pushti. So, Jananam Pushtyartham, in order to give pushti to people, he gives this varsham. That is why he is called as Tejo Vrishaha. So that is the name of Surya. Vishnu in the form of Surya. Everything is Vishnu, but Vishnu is also Surya. Adityana Maham Vishnu is one of the vibhutis of Krishna. Hence he is called as Tejo Vrishaha. It's a beautiful name. People in Madras should chant this. Tejo Vrishaha. The second one is...
Sorry, can I ask a question? Is that the same as the Shibi Vishta?
Shibi Vishta, yes. Shibi, yeah. Through his Rashmi it enters. Yeah. Only thing, when you take meaning of the words, everything means Vishnu, right? The entire universe means what? Vishnu. But then there are differences in words. It is called Guru Ayappan. It's called Srinathji. Different. The same Shabda. That is the beauty of Vishnu. And whenever you chant a mantra, you don't give any importance to meaning. Initially, when you are a child, you just don't want to hear to philosophy. Oh, it is nice. Then he will learn, the child. He doesn't know, you don't want to go into the meaning. So, Artha is not a big deal. for practitioners. Artha means meaning. Meaning is not a big deal for practitioners. So for a chanter of mantra, what frees your mind is the mantra itself. When you say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the mind is already free. But if you look into Sanskrit word, what is Asu, what is Va, then you will become very depressed. So the Artha is always a problem. The Shabda is always soothing. The Vishnu Sahasranama, the entire thing is mantra. Entire thing is mantra. So that is what you have to do first. First get the entire Vishnu Sahasranama in your head. Then afterwards, when you are bored, like a cow, you chew the cud. Take one name, Sivivishtaha, Tejo Vrishaha. Then ask Shankara, he will tell you the meaning. So, Sivivishtaha, Tejo Vrishaha, both are one Vishnu but two different mantras. And two different mantras have different sound values and sound, what do you call that? Mantra's Shakti is different. The Guru is supposed to know that, what mantra should be given to which person. That's what he does. Okay, Tejo Vrishaha. And the next one is Dyuti Dharaha. So there are two words. What is Dyuti and what is Dhara? Do you have a friend called Dyuti? No. Okay. Dharaha means one who is carrying. One who is carrying duty. That is the meaning of Dyuti Dharaha. What is Dyuti? Dyuti means Kanti. What is Kanti? Shining. Why do you put the foundation in your face? Because you want Kanti. Otherwise, you don't have to put any foundation or makeup. When you do Bharatanatyam, everybody looks very white. The entire. Why do you have to have that? Because you think that is Kanti. And Vishnu is always bright. It does not need Nivya. He does not need any Kasturi Tilakam, nothing he needs. Always he is Dyuti Dharaha naturally. That is what Shankara says. See, Angagatam Kantim Dharayati. Angam. Angam means your body. What is Angam called? Angam has two meanings. Angam means your son or daughter or your own body. Why is the son and daughter called Angam? Because they first sit here in your Angam. When you do Namakaranam, where do they sit? They sit here on your Angam is lap. So the son is called Angadaha. Not only Vali's son, every son is in the body. They will be put in the body. So they are also Anga. In fact, in Ramayana in several places, Rama calls Kusha and Lava Anga. Hey Anga means, hey oh my son. So, Angagadam Kanti. In Angam, there should be Kanti. For Vishnu, always there is Kanti. It never diminishes. For you, it is very Kanti in the morning because lot of soap. And then slowly, when it becomes evening, you become like a crumpled cloth, ready to be laundered. But Vishnu does not have this problem. He is always Dharayati. What? Kanti. Always he is resplendent. That's why he is so attractive. You don't get bored looking at Vishnu. It's like getting hooked to a Netflix show. Once you find Vishnu, completely you are attracted by that Kanti. That is why he is called as Dyuti Dharaha. That is why Vishnu is so interesting. Because Angagatam Kantim Dharayati. He holds it all the time. So obviously you are not holding your Kanti. Somebody is doing it for you. That is why it goes away. Dyutim Angagatam Kantim Dharayan Dyuti Dharaha. That's the meaning. They say that when doing Homa, Medhavi Bhuyasam, Tejasvi Bhuyasam, Brahmavarchasvi Bhuyasam. Let me have a lot of resplendence. Resplendence means what? Doubtless knowledge. It's not fair and lovely. What is Tejasvi means what? Your mind should be bright. Doesn't mean you should use Pierce soap. That is not the idea of Tejasvi means one who has doubtless brilliant intellect, incisive intellect, never sagging. I don't know, I had to consult Google. No. That is called Tejasvi. That's what they ask when they do, the brahmacharis, they do homam for before every day as a early ritual. Medhavi bhuyasam. Let me have medha, power of retention. Otherwise, you will ask the same question again and again. So, okay, so Dudidaraha means one who has this Kanti in the body. And it is a very positive prayer to ask. Because naturally we wish, everybody wants to be bright. They don't want to look unbright. Because he is Didudaraha, he can also give you that. He can make you a Tejasvi. You will look very Tejasvi. Tejo Vrsho Didudaraha. The next one is Sarva Shastra Bhrutam Varaha. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 names. 4 names is one name. So, Sarva means all. What is the meaning of Sarva? All. Shastram. What is Shastram? Weapon. Yeah. Shastra means weapon. Sarva Shastra means all weapons. Gada, Chakram, Dhanuhu, Sharaha, Khadgam, everything. Varaha, Sreshtaha. He can handle everything. He's like Bahubali. He can handle 3 arrows at a time. Sarva Shastra Bridambara. Who? Ramaha. We are talking about whom? Vishnu's Ramavatara. How do you know he is talking about Rama? Because he says in the Gita, Rama Shastra Bhritamaham. Among the Shastra Bhrit, among the people who carry weapons, I am Lord Rama. Krishna says that. Krishna says that I am the best in everything. And among the archers, I am Rama. So here he is referring to Rama. That is what Shankara says. Sarva Shastra Bhritam Varaha Sreshtaha. Sreshtaha means the best. He is the best of the archers. Tejo Vrsho Dididaraha Sarva Shastra Bhritam Varaha. Rama Rupaha, yes. Because no other avatara deals with Shastra like that. Rama, Krishna did not fight in the Mahabharata war. Parashurama had it, yeah. But he is not Sarva Shastra, just Parashu. He is not, because of the Sarva Shabda, it's just Parashu. Actually, Sarva Shastra Bhritamruta will perfectly fit to Rama. Because he was in the Yuddha Kanda, the entire Yuddha he was fighting for months together. So Shankara also means Rama. Here, takes it Rama. This is a point of contention between Rama Bhaktas and Krishna Bhaktas. They can fight with each other. They should actually fight. Okay, next one is Pragraho Nigrahaha. The next one is Pragrahaha. Pragraha means there are 2 words. One is called Pra, the second word is called Graha. What is the meaning of Graha? Graha means holding. Why are the planets called Graha? Because they hold you. Yeah. And also they influence your character. They have a hold on you. That's why they are called as Graha. Grinhadi. They catch you. So Graha means to hold. Prag or receive. Grahanam means receiving. Pra means very well. Why is Vishnu called Pragraha? Because he receives everything very well. From whom? Bhaktaihi. From his devotees. So only if you offer, he will receive. That is why he says Bhaktaihi. When the Bhakta gives with a certain attitude, with love and affection, then he receives it. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Whoever gives me a petal, a leaf, a spoonful of water, bhaktya, with attitude, with devotion, tadaham bhaktyubhritam grinhami prayatatmanaha. I do the graham. That's why he is called Pragraha. Bhaktehi upahritam patra pushpadikam. Patra pushpa adi means laddu. Adikam, etc., etc., he takes. It could be even milk chocolate. Whatever the bhakta gives with love, he takes it. Pragrinhati, iti pragraha. That's why he is called as pragraha. Bhagavatam, he says that. Why are you not worshipping Aditya, all the grahas, Buddha, Chandra? He says, Krishna graha grihitatma. One graha has taken me, pragraha. The name of that graha is Krishna. So I have no time for the Navagrahas. So Krishna is pragraha. And here is also nigraha. What is the meaning of nigraha? Nigraha means to assassinate, to eliminate. Is there one more meaning for pragraha? There is one more, right? Yeah. We'll go back to that. Okay. So pragrinhari pragraha. If he takes his flowers, patram pushpam phalam toyam, he is pragraha. That is the first meaning. The second meaning is graha means catch. Who catches? The hunter. What does the hunter do? If you see National Geographic, you can see that. The rabbit is running very fast. You go behind that and you control it. Similarly, when the devotees indriyas, what is your indriyam? Your eyes, your nose. They don't ask your permission. It goes and looks at a beautiful thing. I want it. It starts crying, hitting the ground. Give it to me now. That's what the mind will do. It will take all your attention. At that point, Bhagavan comes and he becomes pragraha. How does he do that? Shankara writes that. Vishayaranye dhavataha. Aranyam. What is Aranyam? Forest. Aranyakanda. Like in the Ramayana. So Aranyam means Dandakaranyam. All that Aranyams are there in India. Aranyam means forest. Vishayaranyam. What is Vishayam? What are the Vishaya? Vishaya means the objective world. Rupam gandho rasasparshaha shabdascha vishaya ami. These are the 5 objects you can see. You cannot see a 6th thing in the world. Show me the 6th thing. I will give you $1 million. What is the first thing? Rupam, all the forms. Second thing, rasaha, all the taste. Gandhaha, all the odors, smell. Sparshaha, the touch. Shabdaha, the sound. Apart from these 5 categories, there are no objects in the objective world. And that itself is the Vishayaranya. That Vishayam itself is the Aranya. Why it is Aranya? What is the meaning of a forest? If you just have one tree in the backyard, you cannot say I have a forest. You should at least have 100 trees. So forest means nibidam, something where you will get lost. If you go there, you should not be able to come back. That is forest. You should not have a trail or anything. So Vishayaranyam is like that. The objective world, the sweet sounds, the forms, they are so attractive. You can get lost there. Once you are lost, you'll be thinking, where am I sitting? What happened? Because the mind has gone to the sense objects. At that point of time, the mind transforms itself and it becomes a vaji. What is the mind called? When you have unbridled material pleasure pursuit. Looks like a good language. Like as though somebody is talking. Pleasure pursuit mean what? You don't want to control your mind. People say that. What do you want to become when you grow up? I should have a big house. There should be many rooms. And it should be filled with wealth. So I can have whatever I want. So what they are talking is unbridled sense pleasure, pursuit, without any thinking. And that kind of mind is called a vaji. What is a vaji? One who has vajam. Who is a dhani? One who has dhanam. What is vajam? Long hair. What is a vajam? Mane. Is it called a mane? What that lion has it, the horse has it. That is vajam. So that is why it is called vaji. So when that horse runs, it is so terrific, very extreme speed. Nobody can control it. That's why it is called horsepower. Why do you what to call it, truck has horsepower. Because horse is the fastest. So mind becomes that. Mind becomes a Vaji. So you cannot control it. You have got a thing which cannot be controlled by you. So you need some help. Who is that help? Mind controlled, not a psychologist. Bhagavan Vishnu. Bhagavan Vishnu becomes the Vaji. That's why he's called Pragraha. Pragashena Grinhadi. He can immediately catch hold of that mind. All you have to say is Pragraha, Pragrahaya Namaha. When you say that, he will come and hold it. That's what he says. Dhavadaha Vishayaranye. One who is running in the Aranyam of Vishaya, forest of sensory pursuit. Vishayam is sensory pursuit. Durdanta Indriya Vajinaha. Dantam. What is Dantam? Damayuktam. Damas Shamo, Damas Tapas Chaiva. These are the things you require to meet Vishnu. What should be written in your visiting card? MA, Damaha, Shama. If you have this in the visiting card, he will see you. The person who has Dhamma is called Dantaha. So it is a quality of the mind. Dhamma, Shama is all quality of the mind. But it is not easy. It is Durdantaha. Naturally, the mind is, Dhamma is not easy to attain. That is why mind is considered as Durdantaha. What is Durdantaha? Two things are Durdanta. One is Indriya, one is Vaji. What is Vaji? Horse. What is Indriya? Your sense organ. Each and every sense organ is like a runaway horse. Uncontrollable horse. Suppose you are sitting in a chariot and the chariot has got 5 horses. All these 5 horses are like your husbands. They will never listen to you. Each one is going in each directions. So what will happen to the chariot? The chariot will become Durdantam. What will happen to the chariot? Impossible to control. That is the state of your mind. When the mind is sitting here, it doesn't want to sit here. There is a problem with the mind. You can be very comfortable in this world if you don't have this horse with you. Everywhere you go, it wants to do something else. That is called Vikshepa. It just throws you. Why? Because it is a horse going fast. And it is Durdanta. That is why Durdanta Indriya Vajinaha. They are the Indriyas. Tat Prasadena. But if you have the Prasadam of Krishna, what is Prasadam? Blessing. When you go to temple, what do you get? Banana. What is that? Prasadam. Tat Prasadena Resminameva Badnati Pragrahavate. Just like a Pragraha, catch holders of fine, even the finest substance. Graha means holding. Pragraha means even the finest thing should be held. That is called Pragraha. Prakarshena Graha. Entire thing has to be held. That is called Pragraha. So, that is what Shankara is bringing out. Even the finest, subtlest mind, Indriyas, they are all very subtle. You cannot even perceive. You can see with your eyes. You can see the entire world with our eyes. But you cannot see the eye. Why? Because he is Netrasya Netram. Krishna is the eye of the eye. If you see the eye, you can control the eye. If you want to control your son, you should see him first. If you don't see him, how do you control? So anything you have to control, you have to see first. So your sense organs you cannot perceive. Why? You perceive the entire world with the sense organs. But who perceives your sense organ? Atma. Vishnu does it. So with his prasada, if you get Vishnu's prasada, then you can control this Vaji. All these horses can be brought under control with Vishnu prasada. Then this Panchali can be happy. She can get everything under control with Krishna prasada. That's why he says, Tat prasadena Rashmineva Badnati Pragrahavate. Idi Pragraha. That is why he is called Pragraha. So first one, pragraha means he takes. Second, pragraha means he lets you control with his prasada. He does not control, finally. You have to do it, but he will give his prasada.
This is pragraha and
Prasada means shanti. Prasada means, huh? Prasada means prasannata. Shantam manaha. Shantam manaha means what? A equipoised mind. That's what prasada means. You can never control your sense organs if you are after the sense organs. You need to have an equipoised mind. How do you get an equipoised mind? Take a breath by pranayama. Then the mind becomes equipoised. Or you say Vishnu. Don't have to do any pranayama or exercise. No need to go to rec center. Just say Vishnave Namaha. He will give you prasada. But prasada is a requirement for sense control. Unless you control your sense, your mind is not going to be available. These 5 horses will engage him. Unless your mind is available, you cannot have Vishnu. Not only Vishnu, you cannot have anything in this world without the availability of the mind. That availability of the mind can happen tat prasadena, with Vishnu's prasada. And what is prasadam? Equipoised mind. He can give you that equipoised mind. When you take the word pragraha, it is like holding. If you say to your mind, behold, it will not do it. But if you call Vishnu, immediately it will, as though it is calming down, it becomes. Tat prasadena pragrahavat pragraha. That is why Vishnu is called as pragraha, one who holds. But next one is nigraha. Now there is a small discussion, a grammatical discussion from Paniniya Sutras, how this shabda is sadhu or not. Every word in Sanskrit has to be grammatically analyzed and proven that it is authentic. It is pramanika. That is called shabda sadhutva nirnayaha. If you say swajanaha, swajanaha means what? My own people. I don't like him. Why? Because he looks different. He is not swajana. He is parajana. So swajanaha means what? One's own people. Swajanaha. Shwa means dog. Swajanaha means my people. Swajanaha means dog people. So if you don't understand the sadhutvam, if you don't understand the difference between sa and sha, you'll make that mistake. Hence every word has to be samyak prayuktaha, sadhu prayuktaha. That is why he is saying that it is a sadhu shabda. So Shankara goes into Vyakarana a lot because he wants to make sure that every word is properly analyzed and used. You cannot just randomly use words. That is why he gets into that.
Can I ask a question? Maybe this is not an appropriate question. But so pragraha is controller of, the second meaning is someone who controls your senses.
Through someone who lets you control your senses through his prasada.
And that is at the level of the mind.
Yeah.
But then when someone says yen manasana manyute, so the mind also cannot perceive. So how does controlling of the senses at the level of mind help you take the next step of? What is that connection with?
Okay, no problem. Yen manasana manute, one who is not understood by the mind. What does it mean? Yen manasana manute. So what is the purpose of reading all these scriptures? Why do you want to know Vishnu Sahasranama? Because you want to know your Swarupa. What is the purpose? You want to know your Swarupa. That is the purpose. You want to know who you are. Because when you look at the mirror, it is all bright sometimes. Sometimes it is very dark. So you are really confused. Am I dark or bright? You really don't get to know your Swarupa by external looking. So you make sure that you have to turn around and look inside to understand who you are. That much maturity you got. This is called Swarupa Avabodha, the pursuit of oneself. And that pursuit, what instrument do you have? When you want to look at the mirror, you have got sense organs. But when you turn around and look inside, what happens? There is darkness, utter darkness. And you only have one instrument inside you. That is the mind. Without the mind, you cannot understand you. You have to understand yourself with the So the mind is your mirror. When he says in manasa namanute, with this kind of mind namanute. Why? Samskritam manaha. The mind has to be cultured. The buttermilk has to be low fat and cultured. Like that, the mind has to be cultured. If it is not cultured, you cannot see. That's the meaning of that sentence. In manasa namanute means what? Manasa, asamskrita manasa. A mind which is not properly cultured. Somebody comes and asks you to sing a song. So you don't know Sarigama Padanisa. Then you will sing like me. You cannot aspire to sing like Bhimsen Joshi. Why? Because your swara does not have samskara. Your swara does not have. How does the swara get samskara? By practicing. So the mind requires practice. Where do you need practice? Wherever you don't have skill. They say the mind is vibhu. What is mind? Vibhu. Vibhu means what? Visheshana bhuyate. Wherever it wants, it can go. The mind can go wherever it wants. But then why it is not going? Because it is not trained. That training is called samskara. So that is what it means there. And manasa namanute means yat, that param brahma, yat Vishnu. Manasa namanute. His swarupam is not understood by this mind. Why I am saying that here the mind means asamskritam manaha, the mind which is untrained, because there is another sentence. Manaseva nudrashtavyam. You can see it only with your mind. So there that mind means what? Samskritam manaha. Manasa namanute. You cannot understand with the mind means what? Asamskritam manaha. So that is what it is. So that talks about the mind. Here we talk about the indriya vajanaha, pragrahaha. He helps you. First it all starts with danta. Then it goes to shanta. Danta refers to dhamma, which refers to indriya nigraha. And shanta refers to shama, which is mano nigraha. So that is the talk about shamaha. This is the talk about dhammaha. And that dhammaha cannot happen without the prasadam. Why? Because we are devotee. We are looking after prasadam. The first line is for philosophers. This is for Tanmanadana. So both he has Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Mukti nahi chahiye. Mere ko bhakti chahiye for them. For them, what do they need? Prasadam. I like both.
Pragraha is the same as parigraha?
No.
Because parigraha, one of the meaning was this, that he accepts all the pushpam.
That's the first meaning, yeah.
First meaning.
The second meaning, yeah.
But the words are different. Pragraha
Yeah.
and parigraha.
Okay. Let us see this. So, pra, para, apa, this, dur, these are all called prefixes. What is it called? Prefixes. So, graha is the infinitive. What is an infinitive? If you add the word to any verb, that is an infinitive. To go. To hold. Graha means what? To hold. And you can add any prefix before that. You can add pari, then it becomes parigraha. It means possession. What is parigraha? Possession. Or you can add the word vi. What is the meaning of then? Statue. Vigraha means what? Statue. Like that, pragraha. So the meaning, there are subtle changes in the meaning. Whenever you add that prefix, there will be change in the meaning. How? Upasargena dhatvarto balad anyatra niyate. This prefix in Sanskrit, it is called upasarga. What is it called? Upasarga. And when you add upasarga to the infinitive, to the verb, balad anyatra niyate, the meaning changes. Anyatra means totally different. How? Prahara, ahara, samhara, vihara, pariharavate. The word hara. Hara means what? A garland. Hara means, why it is called hara? Because harati. When you just come and sit here, nobody looks at you. But when somebody puts a garland on you, everybody is looking at you. Because harati, it steals their mind. That is why it is called hara. But when you add a pra to that, it means thappad maro, thappad maro, prahara, thappad maro. Maybe a little bit there here, but it means to beat. So the word pra changed the meaning. And where is garland and where is beating? It has no connection. That's what happens. Upasargena dhaturtaha baladanyatra niyate. It can totally change the meaning. So you should never go with similar looking sounds in Sanskrit. You have to be very wary of the upasargas.
So what is the difference? Because parigraha also,
The difference is pari and pra. That's all.
okay, but one of the meanings for that also was this exactly the same quotation. The
Yeah.
from
One meaning, the first meaning, that's what I said. The first meaning means parigraha. The second meaning means pragraha. Prasadena dantaha.
So prahar in classical Indian music means a phase of time.
Prahar means hora. You know, in Mexican, hora means hour. In Sanskrit also it's called hora shastram. What is the Mexican temple building technology called? Mayan. We had two great sculptors. One is called Vishwakarma. The second one is called Maya. Our one? Yeah. And our Jyotish Shastra is called Hora. And their hour is called hour. And then Prahara. Prahara is one of the units of time. Okay, this is another thing. In India, there are several streams of sciences. And the word Nadi, what does the word Nadi mean? Nadi means what? A river. But in Vyakarana, Nadi means the first case singular, dual and plural, and the second case dual and singular, excluding the plural. That is what it means in Panini. Idude dvejanam pragrihyam. That is called Nadi. Nadi means what? Prathama vibhakti ekavachanam, dvivachanam, bahuvachanam, dvitiya vibhakti ekavachanam and dvivachanam. No bahuvachanam of dvitiya vibhakti. This is called Nadi. Panini has specially coined the word Nadi for that. So in one Shastra, what one word means need not be in another. What you say can be totally different from what he says. They are two different things. They are world apart. So contextually it can. That is why if a person is rooted in the Veda, what is it called? Srotriya. What is a Srotriya? A person who is rooted in Shruti. A person who is rooted in Shruti will always go for Vedangas. Veda, Vedanga, Tattvajnam. So entire Chaturdasha Shastras he will look. So immediately when one word pops up, he will have clarity. Oh, this block is from Giant Eagle. This is from Walmart. He can see the difference. So that he have the whole picture is there already. That is why we have Shankara. Why is Shankara called Sruti Smriti Purananam Alayam? Because whenever he looks at a thing, he can see 18 Puranas, 4 Vedas, and the Ashtadasha Smritis. So he can put it in context. That is why whenever people ask him questions, Tere Murkha Najanasi, hey, you don't know. This is that and this is this. That is why he takes out the Buddha. He says, we have all this already figured out. It's not something new you are starting. They are just taking one part of Vishnu. In 1032 names, one of the names of Vishnu is Shunyaha. It is going to come. And Buddha took that name and said, this is Buddhism. Then Shankara came, no. We already have it. It is not the entire thing. So that is why you should have the entire vision. And that entire vision, Acharyas, Parampara has. You cannot look at the world by yourself because you are so chota hai. Everything is, you are so little. You have to stand on the shoulders of the giant. That is Shankara. That is a tradition. If you have the tradition behind you, take the help of your father. Why? Because he has taken the help of his father. So if you manage to get the anugraha of the parampara, then you will get a lot more. Then we can put everything in context because you will have the wholesome vision. Okay, so pragraha and then Vyagraha, Nigraha. What is the next one?
Nigraha.
Nigraha, not Vyagraha, Nigraha. Nigraha means resolve. What is the meaning of Nigraha? Resolve. Nisheshana.
Eliminate.
Elimination is resolving, no? So you solved, you eliminated the problem means what? You resolved. I don't like the word eliminate. Why? Because we don't have elimination. Elimination means you are kind of destroying it. So if resolving means you have another chance. Anyway, you can say elimination. So that is how it is used, you know. Dushta Nigraha Shishta Pariparana. They say that all the time. Rama does Nigraha of all the Dushtas. So he really kills them and gives them moksha. Giving the moksha part is resolve. Killing part is elimination. I am looking at that. Okay. Sovashena Sarvam Nirgidnadi. He not only eliminates, he not only destroys, he also Sovashena. He makes them under his control first. It is not like a hit and run case. You don't hit and run away. First you sit on it and then you resolve it. That is why he says that. So Vashena Sarvam Vigrinhati. He makes it into Vasha first and then Vigrinhati. Why do you need it to make it to Vasha? Because Vasha means what? Vasha means on your side. It shows two things. Vasha Shakti Prabhutvayoho. Vasha means Shakti and Prabhutvam. Prabhutva means overlordship. It shows that you have perfect control over it. And then why do you have control? Because you have Shakti. So that is what Vasha means. You have got power, Shakti. Then you also have got Prabhutvam, overlordship. Because if you just do Nigraha, a half-done job, half-baked job, tomorrow again it can come back. One head is gone, but still 9 heads are there. He might come back with the 9 heads. So it has to be complete, Nisheshena Grahaha. Entirely it has to be decimated, eliminated, resolved. That is why he does that. Sovashena Sarvam Nigrinhati iti Nigrahaha. Then Vyagraha. Vyagraha has got 2 words. Do you see 2 words? One is V. What is V? Upasarga. And what is the other word? Agra. Agra. So V Agra. That is called Vyagraha. What is Agra? What is at the end? Agra means end. Agra means what? End. Okay. If you look from here, it is beginning. If you look from here, it is the end. What is the difference between beginning and end? When you are in a circle, it is you are looking, where you are looking, right? But Agraha means end. Let us take it as end. If it is the next birth, it is beginning. If it is this birth, it is the end. In other words, Agra is the 6th state. Shad Vikaras. What is the first one? Asti. You are born. Jayate. Then Pravardhate. You don't become old suddenly. You are born and suddenly you don't jump to middle age crisis. Before that you have got youthhood, the wonderful years, teenage, the lost years. That is called Viparinamate, metamorphosis. A lot of changes happen. But it all finally ends in Mriyate, Maranam. So what is that? Mriyate. That is the final stage. That is called Agra. V means Bhayam. Everybody is constantly thinking of the 6th stage. Nobody wants to think about the first stage. Nobody wants to think about what is happening with the class. Everybody wants to know when it is going to end. Always the point is Maranam. Because you are not confused or complaining about the 5 states. A boy becomes youth, he doesn't have any complaint. Progressive. You progressed into that. Then youth, he became a middle-aged man. He doesn't complain. Middle-aged man became old man. He doesn't complain. But when he dies, then he complains. Then he becomes Vyagraha. That is why Vishnu is called Vyagraha. Visheshena agre. He really makes people Vyagra, shudder with fear because of the sixth state. That is why he is called as Vyagraha. See what Shankara writes. Vikadam agram. He does not have any antam. Agram means antam. Agram means maranam. What is the meaning of agram? Maranam, end. He does not have that. V means no. V means no. No agra. He does not have maranam. That is why he is called Vigraha. So agram means vinasham. What is the meaning of agram? Vinasham. V vinasham. He does not have vinasham. Vigadam agram anto vinasho asyedi Vyagraha. Normally the word Vyagra means concern. What is the meaning of Vyagra in the world? Concern. You are always concerned about your last moment. That is why you make investments. Why do you want to invest? Because Vyagraha. You are always concerned. And the concern is not about the 5 states. If you are a very sane, equal-minded, fair person, you should be concerned about all the states. But no, I am only worried about the last sun. What is that? Agraha. That's why Vyagraha means the concern. And why is Vishnu called Vyagraha? Because Vishnu is concerned about us. Vishnu is Vyagraha because what? He is concerned about all of us. That is why he is Vyagraha. That is the second meaning. Second meaning of Vyagraha is Bhaktanam Ishtadaneshu Vyagraha. What gift should I buy to my Bhakta? Thanksgiving is coming. What should I do for him for this July 4th? Which cracker should I get him? He's so worried, Vishnu. Bhaktanam Abhishtadanam. What is he thinking? Whatever he is thinking, we should give him. This is Krishna's thought. That is why he is called Vyagraha. He is always, just like you are fearing, concerned about death, he is concerned about your well-being. That is why Vishnu is called as Vyagraha. See clearly. Bhaktanam Abhishta Daneshu. For giving his Ishtam. What is Ishtam? What you like. What is Ishtam? What you like. And what is Abhishtam? What you like very much. If they give you a chocolate and a laddu, you go for that. That is called Abhishtam. Both are Ishtam. But what you like most is called as Abhishtam. And Vishnu is Vyagra. He wants to give you what is your Abhishtam. That is why he is called Vyagraha. That is why he says Va, or. Va means or. Bhaktanam Abhishtadaneshu Vyagraha idi Vyagraha. The next one is Naika Sringaha. Sringaha means what? Horn. Eka Sringaha means rhinoceros. One bunch of hair. Naika Sringaha, he doesn't have one horn. Meaning he has many horns. What is the meaning of horn? Horn means a word. What is horn? It's a padam. Chatusringaha. So the word, speech has 4 domains. How does your speech start? It starts as an idea. Suppose I am telling, tell me a name of a flower. So what did I do? I inserted the flower thought in you. Now you are going to say lotus. Before that you had to think about that flower. I didn't say you had to say lotus. I just said flower. Suddenly the idea came. That is called para. That idea. So all the ideas are springing from para. And then you see it very clearly. No, not jasmine, not cauliflower, but lotus. You stick to that. That is Pashyanti. Then Madhyama. Then it becomes immediate. Then Vaikhari. This is called Chatusringa. This is called the Chatusringa. 4 domains of speech. Vishnu is that. Every idea become manifested as Chatusringaha. Why? Because Vishnu is Naikasringaha. He is not a very simple fellow. Very sophisticated. That is why he is Naikasringaha. How do you know? Chatvari Sringa idi Yajñikyupanishadi. Yajñikyupanishadi means what? One of the Upanishad. It says Chatvari Sringa Trayo Asya Pada Dveshi Rishe Saptahasyaso Asta Vrishabho Roriviti. That mantra, it talks about speech. That mantra talks about speech. Chatvari Shringa means these four domains of speech. Trayaha Padaha means you have got Strilingam, Pullingam, Nabumsakalingam. Saptahastaso Asya Prathama Vibhakti, Dvitiya Vibhakti until Saptami Vibhakti. That is Saptahasta. So the entire mantra talks about speech. That is why Vishnu is called as Naikasringaha. Naikasringo. What is the next one? Gadagrajaha. Agrajaha. Agrajaha means elder brother. What is the meaning of Agraja? Elder brother. So Vishnu has a younger sibling. His name was Gada. What is the younger sibling? Krishna's younger brother was called what? Gada. That's why he is called as Gadagrajaha. Like Lakshmana is called what? Ramanujaha. Because Rama was elder to him. So Gada was younger to Krishna. So Krishna is called Gadagrajaha. Any problem with that?
Gada means like
Name.
Bharat. Like no.
Like Rama had a brother called Bharata. Like Rama
Yes,
had, Krishna had a brother called Gada. How do I know? Shankara writes it here. Yadva Gado Nama Vasudeva Avarajaha. Who is Vasudeva? Krishna. Vasudeva Avaraja means younger sibling. Jaha means born. Avara means younger. Born younger means younger sibling. Jeshta means elder. Avara means younger. Vasudeva Avarajaha. Younger brother Krishna. Tasmad Agre Jayate. Who will be born? The eldest or the youngest first? Agre? The eldest will be born. Yeah. Tasmad Agre Jayate. Tell me.
Agre is elders.
Yeah.
That is
Depending upon where you look from him. If you look from DW's standpoint, Arthur is Agre. If you look from Arthur's point, DW is Agre. That is why I said, Agre means where you look it from. Agraharam. Agraharam means what? Places where Brahmins stay. Why it is called Agraharam? Because Haram this side and Haram that side. We have Vishnu on one side, Shiva on the other side. So, Shaivites will say, oh, it starts with Shiva temple. Vaishnavite will say, it starts with, both are in Agra, no problem. Because ours is a circular world.
that Agra is different from this Agra. The Agra.
Yeah.
That is a different Agra. This is a different Agra.
Agra there means last.
Here is last.
Yeah, here it means first. Here it means first. There she said it is first, then I said last. Here you are saying it is last, I am saying it is first. That is all the differences. But I told you in earlier it is both. Depending upon how you, are you with DW or with Arthur? That's what it is.
So what is Agre Vrishti plus Prishte Bhanu?
Agre means before. Yeah, before. Agre Bhumi Suta. Bhumi Suta means Sita. She goes first. Ladies first. Rama observed that. First Sita. So then he can keep an eye. That's all. Otherwise, Sambar won't be available next day. You have to protect her. So Agre Bhumi Suta. Agre means in front. There you have a different meaning. That's why I said that. In that Vyagraha, he takes it in a different direction. And it is possible. That's all I said. Yeah. So, Gada, Agre. Before Gada, he was born. Who was born? Krishna. Vasudeva Avarajaha. Tasmad Agre Jayate iti Gada Grajaha. You should try reading this Mahabharata, Krishna stories and see who is this Gada. Because Shankara will not say simply, right? Okay. So that is the meaning of Gada Grajaha. Swastik Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu